Based on what's been seen in The Boys and Invincible, many have speculated on who would come out victorious in a duel to the death between the Boys Homelander and Invincibles Omni-Man. Let me know in the comment section who you think would win between the power mustache and the beautiful blonde. But before I turn to Tom Hanks for advice on this decision...
What a decision I have to make here!
I would hate to be in your shoes, pal.
Geez, Tom, sit on the fence, why don't you? I'd like to say hello, guys and gals. I'm Nick, and welcome to 30's Feedback. So, both metahumans have been seen dishing out insane amounts of carnage throughout their history, thus making for a compelling fight, at least on paper. While both metahumans differ drastically in their shows from their original source material, each character brings a lot to the table when it comes to their fighting capabilities. Since Homelander is a more blatant reference to the DC Comics superhero Superman, the majority of his powers are taken straight from the Kryptonian's wheelhouse. These powers include, but are not limited to, flight, super speed, enhanced strength, enhanced durability, super hearing and vision, telescopic vision, X-ray vision, and of course laser vision. Omni-Man also possesses the ability of flight, super speed, enhanced strength, and enhanced durability. Additionally, he has an accelerated healing factor, and his Viltrumite physiology makes him adaptable to any environment. Considering Homelander's role as more politician than combatant, the leader of the Seven typically opts for utilizing his charm and charisma more than anything to solve problems. Nevertheless, Homelander has been seen utilizing his abilities of flight, enhanced strength and enhanced durability to capture a rapidly descending plane while it was still airborne, his super hearing to eavesdrop on other members of the Seven, and his heat vision in many diverse ways. On certain occasions, he's seen using a weaker version of his heat vision to stun people, and in other instances, he's seen using it to its gory effect. In a more compelling display of combat competency, the 6th episode of The Boys' 3rd season, Herogasm, dispelled any doubts viewers may have had about Homelander's powers. He went up against the Butcher and Soldier Boy, two characters who could beat Homelander in a fight, and was seen giving them a run for their money. Despite Huey joining the fight and Homelander escaping, audiences were treated to a special moment in which Homelander perfectly demonstrated how dangerous he could be in a brawl. Almost opposite of Homelander, Omni-Man is seen on multiple occasions throughout Invincible's first season, showcasing what he can do in a crisis. He's seen putting his super senses to work on multiple accounts to help protect Earth from intergalactic threats, single-handedly vanquishing waves of foes, and even using his charisma to manipulate people similar to what Homelander does. While it isn't often highlighted, one of Omni-Man's most effective powers is his ability to adapt to nearly any environment. It's yet to be seen what the limits of this ability are, but they've aided significantly in Omni-Man's ability to go toe-to-toe with anyone. Perhaps the greatest display of Omni-Man's abilities was seen during the first episode's climax, in which Omni-Man single-handedly killed the Guardians of the Globe, itself the equivalent to the Justice League in terms of powers and scope. His enhanced strength and durability were among his most useful abilities, as his fight with his former team lasted quite a while, and it wasn't until after he killed everyone that he passed out. This firmly established Omni-Man as a threat, while also implying that he'll stop at absolutely nothing to destroy a target. Omni-Man and Homelander both rank among some of the most evil characters ever depicted in the superhero genre, despite their insistence otherwise. While Omni-Man's brutal display of power and ruthlessness over opponents in combat cements his reputation as someone unwise to cross, there's something particularly evil in the way Homelander conducts himself and even rationalizes his behavior. Moreover, one could argue that, despite how twisted his worldview is, Omni-Man's duty to fulfill his responsibilities as a Viltrumite is somewhat understandable. In the case of Homelander, Homelander, everything about him, from his constant belittling to those around him to his rampant disregard for others, just screams insecure and sociopathic. Arguably one of Homelander's greatest displays of just how evil he truly is occurred in the 4th episode of Episode 1, in which Homelander allowed a plane full of civilians to crash. What's worse is the fact that he gaslit Queen Maeve, someone already struggling with bouts of depression, into thinking it was the responsible thing to do. Omni-Man has done his fair share of dirty deeds, but Homelander easily takes the cake in this department, as it's tough to justify anything that he's done. A fight between Homelander and Omni-Man would likely be contentious, considering both metahumans are fairly even in skills and attributes. However, the X factor in their fight would boil down to each character's psychology. As impressive as Homelander's fighting spirit was in the first few moments of the fight in Herogasm, he eventually opted to flee the scene once it became obvious he was about to meet his end. On the other hand, Omni-Man has never been shown fleeing from a fight despite how grim things looked. Moreover, his commitment and devotion to seeing a target meet its end is almost uncanny, and it perfectly showcases the lengths of the Viltrumite's fighting spirit. The Boys Homelander would put up a valiant fight, but Invincibles Omni-Man would ultimately come out victorious on account of his indomitable will and greater desire to win.